Yo, this stuff that's been on my mind, and I want to rap about it. And I want to talk about the fact that um, I don't feel shame of my culture, none of it. I know a lot of people in our community, we point out certain aspects of our culture, and we're told to feel bad about it, but no one points out any of these aspects of European culture, Asian culture, or any other cultures that around the world. The only one who's told to feel ashamed, salute you, Michelle's daughter. The only one who's told to feel ashamed about their culture here in America is the Black American. I'm not. Salute you, Shell LBC or nothing. Sadly, I'm not ashamed of my culture. Not ashamed of my heritage. None of that. Salute you, not a coincidence. What's happening, family? What's happening, Andy? Everybody subscribe to my brother, not a coincidence. Everybody subscribe to Shell LBC or nothing. You know, I was watching today. I was looking on social media, right, and you're just seeing black folks talk about how disgraceful our culture is, right? How ratchet and ghetto it is. Meanwhile, I'm looking at other people around the world literally partake in our culture, and no one's calling them ratchet or ghetto or someone who should be ashamed or any of that nonsense. That jacket is only put upon us, right? Salute you, DS. Absolutely, everybody copies us. Absolutely, and it's just the oddest thing in the world. It really is. And I just find it odd that, matter of fact, you'll see a ton of videos right online where people are telling us to to be ashamed, right? Or to telling us, oh man, black culture is toxic, or I'm embarrassed by us. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll hear people say that they're embarrassed by black culture, like by black American culture. I'll never say that. I'm not saying that stuff. Matter of fact, I've said it in the past. Salute you, chill time majors. I'm not saying it anymore. I'm not. I refuse to be ashamed of my heritage, of my culture, which is the most popular worldwide. Right? That's nuts. Literally watching Koreans do drill rap, watching Japanese do R&B, watching Brazilians do jazz, right? Watching all these people around, or watching the Polish do house music. A lot of y'all don't know that house and all this electronic music and techno was created by people in your culture, part of your ethnic group. I don't care about that. I'm just talking. This is not that kind of conversation, Andy. I agreed, Omega Red. People want us to be disgraced by what is ours. Everybody partakes in our culture. Everybody has partaken in our culture, and everybody has told us that it's ghetto, that it's disgraceful. Meanwhile, by literally using our mannerisms, using AAVE, African American vernacular, in order to get the point across, we have people claiming, we got Gen Zers, not Gen Xers. We have Gen Zers claiming that AAVE, right? AAVE is Gen Z slang. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. No, it's not. We know where AAVE is rooted from. We know the roots. Where the roots come from West Central Africa. We know where the roots. We know where the syntax of the language comes from. We know that. So I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of none of it. Even the shit people call wretched, that everybody else partakes in, even today. Even today, the stuff that people call wretched, the long nails, the Gold Grill. I ain't ashamed of none of it. I love it all. And guess what? The rest of the world does too. But a lot of our people are going to sit here and tell you that it's all trash. Meanwhile, other groups have been doing ratchet shit forever. No conversation on them. The only people who has to be perfect, the only ethnic group who has to be perfect in this world is us. I'm saying hell no to that. Man, I was listening. I was watching. There was a concert that took place today that was for Black Americans, right? And I was looking at it, and hold on, the music is, I had to turn it down because the music is playing in the background. But it's a fantastic voyage. It's a fantastic voyage 24. Shout out to Tom Joyner, right? He put it together, and it's nobody but us in the crowd. All the performers were us. It was totally specified and just for us. And man, that made me so happy. I'm so proud of that. I sit back and I look at all the music that our people have put out. I look at all the inventions that our people have done. I look at all these efforts and all these things that our people have accomplished throughout history. There's nothing to be disgraced about our own goddamn people. Stop it. Different circumstances create different environments that create different changes in culture. We got to stop being ashamed of ourselves and allowing other people to make us feel ashamed of who we are. Salute you, Just Spark. We got to stop that. We got to stop feeling embarrassed by our culture and our ethnic group, by the way we talk. Remember, growing up, we would code switch, right? We would code switch in front of white folks because, we didn't want, because they would tell us that we're speaking broken English, right? I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't think from an American English standpoint, the way sentences are put together in my mind come from our culture, come from our dialect. Our dialect is the way that my brain formulates sentences. The way I ask the question, the way it's formulated. When I translate things, it's formulated in our dialect. I'm not ashamed of our dialect. I love being around our people. I love having conversations with our people about topics that pertain to our people. And once again, I'm not ashamed of us. And none of you should be ashamed of us as well. Stop allowing people to convince you that our culture is inferior. Stop. As a matter of fact, if you think that our culture is problematic, then you need to stop thinking from a white person's standpoint, thinking that we have to be exactly like these people. That's our problem. The insecurity, which happened to us, being enslaved, going through Jim Crow. We allow those traumatic experiences to continue to get us to think from a European standpoint, from a European vantage point. The way we think, we always think about, well, how would white people think about it? White people don't like it, so it's not good. The same thing goes when it comes to beauty standards. We view beauty standards in the eye of white folks, right? This is why, quote unquote, right? If you look at the data, right, which group of women are considered to be the least desirable? Not according to me, but according to the rest of the world, dark-skinned sisters, right? So the way we look at the world is from a Eurocentric standpoint, vantage point, and that has to change. We got to stop caring about what they think. We have to stop seeing the world from their worldview. We're not those people, and it's okay. I don't want to be anybody else but me. I'm happy to belong to the ethnic group that I belong to. I'm proud of my ethnic group, and I'm proud of the people in my ethnic group. I'm not ashamed of none of that shit. I'm done with that shit. People telling me I got to be ashamed of my people. On top of that, too, right? On top of that, people if somebody black does something bad, culturally, this is how the American culture is, right? American culture is, If someone black does something back, the entire community did it, right? So that jacket gets put on us. But if one of the people from the dominant society, if they go out and they just mow down the whole school, no one's saying that that entire community is that way. It only applies to us. So once again, like I said, we got to stop thinking from their vantage point. Stop putting certain jackets on ourselves. Stop allowing other people to tell us that our culture is trash. I don't give a damn what ethnic group you come from. If you're not from my ethnic group, I really don't care if you like my culture or not. One thing I do know, you're going to partake in my culture. So it can't be that bad because you practice it. Salute to you, Lewis Henry. Salute to you, everything is everything. What's happening, fam? All these different ethnic groups practice our culture regularly. Meanwhile, a lot of people will sit there and tell us that our culture is trash, literally by speaking like us, dressing like us, literally swagger jacking, or just completely swagger jacking us, taking our whole fucking swag. And then we feel ashamed about our culture, and then we want to try to distance ourselves away from our own shit. It's the craziest thing in the world. They're telling you to distance yourself away from your culture so they can use it. I see red, black, and green so much that, yeah, for sure, family. And that's what it's all about, man. Do not allow anybody to convince you to hate your culture at all. I don't. I refuse to have people tell me that my culture shit while everyone gets to partake in it. The main thing we need to learn how to do, though, is we have to learn how to do what these other people have done with our culture, right? Other people have taken our culture and monetized our culture, right? They have taken our culture and they've monetized our culture. We need to learn how to monetize our culture ourselves. So I don't care the good, the bad, and the ugly. We need to do the same thing that other folks do with our culture. They take the good and bad and the ugly and they make millions of dollars off of it. So we should be monetizing our own culture. We need to monetize every aspect of it, from the hair, the nails, from the way that the men dress, the way that we walk, the way that we talk, everything. A whole, every aspect of our culture. And not all of our culture is based off of quote unquote what people say, oh, it's all about street and all that stuff. That's not all about our culture, is not only about that. Our culture is also based in academia, it's also based in science, it's also based in historical documentation and research as well. We're more than just performers, and we're more than just artistic. If you ask certain people, the only thing people point out when they say our culture is trash, they only point out, well, quote unquote, what they call the ratchet portions of our culture, but they don't point out any other aspects of our culture, or the fact that we have brothers like Dr. Rick Kittles. You know what I'm saying? We have other geneticists and scientists out there doing great work. We have engineers out here. We have people working in STEM all throughout STEM, people, tech workers and all that shit like that. We have people who are investment bankers, and we have people who are doing a lot of good things outside of entertainment. But the only thing people point to is what people quote unquote call the ratchet. Like that's all that Black Americans do. That's not the case. On top of that, too, people have this idea that Black American culture is only criminal. Most Black Americans don't commit crimes. And then, matter of fact, a lot of Black Americans who have committed crime don't commit a crime again. They get out of jail, they get out of prison, and they turn their lives around just like folks do in other ethnic groups. Why do we always got to try to put these jackets on ourselves like this is the only thing that we do? People going to jail, well, we have people in our community that go to jail just like other people, right? So we try to act like that's the only part of our culture. That's not. But if you ask certain people on the internet, that's the only thing that you're going to see. So a lot of folks are convinced that that's all we do. If we're not entertaining people, then we're into criminal activity, and that's just absolute nonsense. It's crap. A lot of Black folks own multiple properties. A lot of Black folks have grown up in 2-parent homes. But people try to say that that's not a thing. Y'all got to stop this, man. Stop trying to denigrate our people. Should we make improvements? Yes. It's our job to become better. Every generation, we're supposed to try to do what we can to improve our community. But one of the things we got to do, we need to improve our self-esteem, and part of that stops with denigrating ourselves at every turn, right? Because we already getting denigrated. Black people are already at the bottom of the global caste system, and then we help participate in the denigration of ourselves. And I'm just not gonna do that. I refuse to do that shit, man. I'm done with that type of shit. Once again, I love every aspect of our fucking culture. Are there things that we can change and we can improve? Absolutely. But I don't hate none of those people. I don't hate my sisters who got the long and dagger nails and none of this shit like that. I don't even hate the brothers who are out there, sagging their pants shit. Those are still my people. Those are my people. And I love them. All of them. All of them. The brothers who went to jail and got out and done better for themselves, or the brothers who have been getting into trouble. And there's a multitude of reasons why some of our people are getting into trouble, right? And why don't we try to, instead of trying to figure out why they got in trouble and what can we do to try to change things so they don't go back, we try to just shit on everybody and try to make us feel bad about why certain things have happened. We hate it. We despise ourselves, and we are absolutely ashamed of ourselves because we've been told to be ashamed of ourselves. Meanwhile, once again, like I said, this jacket, they don't put this jacket on themselves. How come? I mean, it said if we should be ashamed of ourselves, shouldn't white folks be ashamed of theirs and some of the shit that they be doing? I'm just saying, right? Shouldn't some of these other groups be ashamed of some of their heritage? But that doesn't happen. No one else is talking or shitting on their culture the way that we shit on our culture. Full stop. No one else is doing this shit. But other folks, funny thing, you look at other cultures and there's certain things that we do that we feel bad about, but other cultures are doing the same thing. And no one points that out. They only point out us. We got to be perfect. We have decided, we have put a burden on ourselves that's impossible to live up to. Impossible. You guys have some ridiculous. I guess we can only live through a narrow lens if you ask certain people. We have to behave certain way. We better be absolutely perfect. If we're not perfect, then we're completely trash. And we accept that shit because, once again, like I said before, we view the world from a Eurocentric standpoint, and it's pathetic. You need to wake up from that shit. Learn to love your people the way they are, man. If you don't like the way one of the brothers do it, pull them to the side. See if you can talk to them. Don't denigrate them. Pull them to the side. So like, man, this is what you can do. You can do better. Let me see if I can help you out. Just talk to a brother or sister with love. But you ain't got to denigrate. We ain't got to denigrate one another, man. But this is what we do. So I just wanted to point that out, man. I'm not trying to be on here long. I just wanted to point out that we shouldn't hate our culture. We should absolutely love our culture because the rest of the world loves it. They don't love you, but they do love your culture. You could try to say it, you could try to act like that's not the case, but I can show you. I can show you better than I can tell you. All you got to do is go on and type up Black American culture, cultural appropriation, or you could just type up different types of cultural aspects. Now, on top of that, you know what's funny? You know that a lot of us, like, we used to complain about a lot of brothers are complaining about black women wearing bonnets and shit like that. Now you got all these other ethnic groups of women wearing bonnets. You got white women wearing bonnets. You have Asian women wearing bonnets. You have Latinas wearing bonnets, right? You have all these different ethnicities wearing bonnets. All of them. They're all wearing bonnets. But we trashed our own women for doing that shit. Crazy. Literally. I was watching these ladies from China. They literally had the same type of nails as a lot of black people do. I was watching the same thing with Latinas, white girls. Everybody's copying the sisters. They're all copying the sisters. around the world. This is something that, once again, like I said, we look at ourselves and we're ashamed of shit that the rest of the world is mimicking. Just saying, man, we need to pay attention to that. Learn to love your shit because the rest of the world loves it. The rest of the world wishes they were as eccentric as us. The rest of the world wishes they were as innovative as us. The rest of the world really truly does. They would really love to copy because they already do copy us. But we don't notice. We don't pay attention. We tend to ignore it. Sometimes we'll bring it up, but we really don't see it. We really don't see it, and we don't really understand it. Sometimes we get frustrated about it. But I'm watching the rest of the world literally copy us verbatim. Salute you, KB. What's happening, fam? I'm watching the world copy our culture verbatim, and we're told to hate our shit. Crazy, man. Fuck that shit. Don't hate none of your culture. Embrace it all. Because they said we was the ends using a Nazi to trick Massa. Now Massa using Nazi gets a trick in our asses every day while we go out here talking about Jesus and forgiving. Facts. Lewis said last week I pulled up African raps for women, and there was just a bunch of white women wearing African stuff. Google African raps. Oh yeah, they doing all that shit, bro. They doing every cultural aspect we do, bro. Bro, check this out. I used to work at Chevron, right? Chevron HQ, and I had this white boy from Indiana. You know what he told me? He told me that collard greens and black eyed peas, man, this is strong Southern food, man. We've been doing this forever. I said, you mean Southern food? You mean Black American food? I said that food that you named was made by Black Americans. And don't have nothing to do with y'all. I don't know how the fuck you think that came from y'all. You think that you guys that it was a group effort making black eyed peas and collard greens? There was no fucking group effort. The way that shit is made, we know the way that shit is made. And we know how the food is prepped. That shit don't come from y'all. Don't have nothing to do with white folk. Yeah, I mean, I love how they try to colonize and try to make what soul food Southern comfort food now. Soul food, a lot of white folks call soul food Southern comfort food. Fuck out of here. That don't have nothing to do with none of y'all. That shit belong to black folks. Yes, it does. The way it's prepped, that's not Eurocentric whatsoever. We can show you the origins and how the style of cooking and the prep and the way the food is prepped. We know where it comes from. We see the similarities. We see the way the food is plated. And all I got to do, I could take you to any goddamn country on the West African coast, and I can show you just how the food is plated, and you're going to see that we plate our food just like that. We stew our beans, we stew our greens the same way they do. So this shit crazy, man. I'm telling you. This shit crazy. How people try to act like that belong to Europe. It does not. Fuck, y'all didn't even use all them different types of seasonings either. I think this off topic, but I'm done with boxing sucker shit and doing this opposite of what true champions do, gets rewarded. Oh, for sure, fam. I get it, fam. I don't blame you. I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you whatsoever, bro. I'm not mad whatsoever. My mind ain't even been on that type of shit. My mind has been on relocation. I just want to get away from shit that just bothers me. You know what I'm saying? I want to get away from a lot of shit right now. But one thing I do want to be around is black people. I want to be around more black people. I think being around black people is the greatest thing in the world. When I walk around and I see nothing but us, that shit makes me happy as fuck. I'm just telling you, man. I love black people to death. And being around black people, man, make me smile. I don't give a fuck. I really smile when it be us. Just, I'm talking about especially Black Americans, but even Caribbeans. I was speaking to spoke to a brother from Cameroon the other day and a sister from Nigeria in the same day. Two cool ass cats, man. I was happy. I was just happy to have black folks around me. I love having black people around me for the most part now because, man, these cities, Bay Area cities have been gentrified to death, bro. Bay Area cities have been so fucking gentrified, and I used to love being able to just go into hubs and just see us, man. It's just really not that way no more, bro. On top of that, too, it's just too much. I've gotten to the point. I've been bothered. I'm gonna give some truth serum. Everybody talk like us out here, bro, and that shit bothered me. Like I'm talking about, like everybody speak like Black Americans out here, and that shit bothered me. What I used to like growing up in the Bay Area is how when you would talk to other ethnic groups, how they like maintain their culture and their speech pattern, like the way they spoke, right? The way they spoke, they didn't speak like Black Americans at all, man. When I would go speak to the Mexican homies, and they be like, "Hey, yo, vato," you know what I'm saying? Like, ole ese. You know, they were like Chicanos. You go speak to Asian, you know what I'm saying? They maintain their culture, whether it's Chinese, Vietnamese, Laotian, Filipino, like everybody like maintain the state in their culture. Polynesian, same thing. Indians, Arabs, same thing. But now, white folks, same thing. But now, everybody fucking sound like us. And that shit right there, I just don't like it, bro. I just like, no, what the fuck, bro? That's one thing that that I love. That was a cultural aspect of mine that I really love. I love going, being around Black folks, and then I can just truly be myself. I can speak like we normally speak amongst each other. But then I got these other groups of people trying to come up to me and trying to talk to me that way, and I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. No, I don't want to talk to you the way I talk to another brother, or another sister of mine. That's not the way the shit's supposed to be. That's my culture, man. To me, that's sacred for me. Me being able to speak to other Black folks and being able to speak in my dialect to my own people is sacred to me. That's not for everybody. I'm sorry, people. That ain't for everybody. That's for me and mine. I lived in SLF for 1 year and I hated that shit. Oh, I feel it, bro. I've grown to hate the Bay Area, and I can't believe this shit. I'm saying this. I hate California now, bro. I don't want to live here no more. I'm so ready to move, bro. I would move tomorrow. But I got some more shit to work on, and I'm ready to get up out of here, bro. I'm on my way to the South. For real, for real. I ain't just talking, bro. I'm done. I'm ready. I'm ready to go now, bro. I had enough. I had enough of watching that shit, bro. Just watching going down to, you go down to West Oakland, you're like, wow. Everybody, people, you think it's gonna be Black folks. No, it's other people talking and really acting like us. And I'm like, yeah, I don't feel that shit. I don't. Build something here, build something elsewhere, make connections, build a relationship, always think international. Right now, I'm thinking about Georgia, bro. Everything is everything. I'm thinking about Georgia, bro, for real. I'm thinking about the Southeast and more of us to concentrate it down in the Southeast. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the Southeast. Oh, taxes are absolutely. Salute you, Reef the Watcher. What's happening, family? Oh, for sure, Reef. Everybody subscribe to my brother, Reef the Watcher. I'm proud, bro. I'm just proud of my people, and I really want to be around my people all the time. Tafford City 11 is down here too, Cali. Not like this. Not like this, bro. Not like this. I know that some of us down here. It ain't like this, bro. It ain't like this. You have to see it out here. You guys don't understand. I'm in North Carolina, bro. It's ridiculous, bro. Bro, I was looking at the sororities, right? So we got sororities out here, right? Non-Black sororities acting like Black sororities. Non-Black fraternities acting like fraternities. Bro, we got every ethnic group participating in stepping contests, bro. Stepping contests used to be only for us. Everybody in it now. And we accepted that shit. I'm like, fuck that shit, bro. Some things should be kept for us. You can't go to every cultural event of an Indian. You can't go to every cultural event of an Indian, of someone who's Japanese, Chinese, Filipino, white. You can't go to all these people's some things that are for just their culture only. And I respect that. But for us, Man, I swear to God, it seems like we can't do shit for ourselves, bro. I'm telling you, bro, the day I get to the point where I can't just be around black people all the time, I'm out. I'm leaving this motherfucker, bro. I'm gonna leave the country at that point. I want to be around us all the time, 24/7, having conversations with just my people. That's it. That's where I'm at now. No shade to nobody else, but I just want to be around my culture and be around my own people right now, bro. That's all I want. That's all I care about. I know that ain't asking a lot. That's all I want to be. I just want to be around Black Americans, bro. That's all I want to be around. Was the most racist place I lived by so far? By far, he said, first time I realized liberal doesn't. Oh, bro, it's racist as fuck, bro. Them rich people don't like you. They don't want us there. I don't even want to be there, bro. At all. I want them to have all that shit. Be honest with you, I want all Black Americans to leave California and go south. That's what I want. I want all the Black people in California to relocate to the south. I want all the Black people that live in Oregon, that live in Washington State, the few Black folks that live in places like Idaho, and as we start to make our requests across the country, Black folks living in Arizona and Nevada and New Mexico, and the Black folks even I'm gonna say really, in reality, with I said Texas too, because Texas we ain't gonna never be the majority there, right? But a lot of folks ain't leaving. But I just want us to leave the West Coast, the Midwest, and the East Coast and come back south. That's what we need to do. If we do that, I promise you, because you guys see the stats, right? So those stats, right? There was something, and I know it's true because I'm feeling that way now. Except I ain't in no fucking poverty. That's the difference. But there was some data that came out that showed that Black Americans in California are struggling or basically cash poor and are depressed. I'm gonna tell you why. It ain't just the money. Black folks, Black people are happier when they live amongst their own people in their own culture. People are happier that way because there's commonality, right? People are happier when they could. Because I'm watching East Indians create like whole cul-de-sacs for themselves, maintaining their culture, practicing their culture in different places throughout the Bay Area, and they all live amongst each other and they all hang out together regularly. And I see other groups do this shit all the time. Black folks, man, our shit is for everybody. I don't want our shit to be for everybody. I want us to be for us. I want our shit to be for ourselves, and I want us to be able to hang out amongst each other without anybody else. That's it. That's it. That's all I want. That's all I ask for. I, I'm done with just trying to share my culture. I don't mind. Other people, participating in our culture, but there are just certain things like you practice in our culture. Certain aspects of the culture, I don't mind. But there are certain things. There are certain aspects of our culture that should only be for us and not for everybody else. And we should be able to close ranks and shut everybody else out. And it should only be able to be us in there at times. Just because certain things should only be for us. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be there in August, but I'm considering coming down there because I wanted to go look at properties, right? I wanted to definitely be looking at properties shit down there. And I spoke to a realtor today in Georgia, not just ATL, but Augusta, Stone Mountain, and with Savannah, and one more place I can't think of right now. But yeah, I'm looking to get though. F up out of here, man. This shit crazy. And I'm ready though. I just want us though. I want us to be around each other though. For real. We gotta close ranks. Like, nah, you can't do that. I'm looking, bro. I saw a video of this white girl, right? She joined a sorority. She said, people don't really know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? I can show you. She said, I'm a big part of the culture. And she joined a black sorority. I was like, oh my God, no. Stop letting Becky's in our shit. Stop letting Becky's in our sorority sisters. Stop letting Brads in our shit too, man. Brads and Chad. Stop letting them motherfuckers in our shit. We have always been the most loving, caring, and sharing culture out of everybody. It's not always a good idea. For some aspects, I'm okay with. But some things have to be sacred enough where we be like, no, fuck no. We're not about. You can't partake in this. No, hell no. We gotta understand that shit. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with certain aspects of everybody's culture only being for those people. That's okay because that's culture. Culture doesn't mean that you have to share every aspect of your culture. Some parts of your culture should only be for your people. I think it's weird when people feel like they need to know everything about your culture or be able to partake in everything. There are certain aspects of culture from different groups around the world that they're not going to share. Like you can talk to Indians, they'll tell you they're not going to share. I'm talking about East Indians, right? There's certain things that they do that they will never share with you. There's certain things the Native Americans do they'll never share with you. There's certain things that Western, Central Africans, North African stuff they do that they'll never share. Certain things that Europeans do that they will never share, right? And that's okay. That's okay. I want us to have that same kind of mindset where there are certain things that we do where nobody else is allowed to come. I don't give a fuck if they want to come or not. You can't come. This is just for us. This is not for everybody. And that's the way my mind is. No disrespect to anybody, and you may feel bad about it, but I don't really give a fuck if that pisses you off or not. There's some things where I want to keep everybody else out. That's all I'm saying. Certain cultural aspects, and I respect other people's culture, man. I show love to people with other people's culture, man. I'll talk like I'm out here. I'll talk to people about their culture, and I'll tell them different parts. And I said, man, that's kind of dope that some of these things that you guys do. Or I'll point that out to other people about their culture. But then also, when it comes to my culture, like the respect I'm showing you for your culture, I want you to show the same respect when it comes to my shit. When it comes to Black Americans, I want you to show the same type of courtesy that I just displayed when it came to your culture. I want you to reciprocate that shit, return that shit back, the same type of respect back to me. That ain't for you. That ain't for you. There are so many things that I pointed out over the years that's weird and frustrating as well, right? So when you go to the West Coast, right, you look at most of the radio DJs. I'm talking about urban radio DJs. Don't even be Black. You guys ever notice that? I don't know if you guys ever come on the West Coast and see that. Most of these urban radio DJs, especially today, right, aren't even Black. You'll see like a couple. But most of urban radio DJs ain't even us from our own shit. We're not even allowed to run the radio stations playing our shit, our fucking cultural shit, our cultural shit. We ain't even running most of that shit. That's nuts. How the fuck are other fucking people from another fucking ethnic group allowed to control the fucking radios of our fucking culture? That's crazy. I bet you can't do that. You won't find that on no other shit. If you go on Latin radio, you're not gonna see a bunch of Black motherfuckers on there running that shit. That's not how it's gonna be. You go to rock radio, you go to different types of genres. You're not going to see Black people in control of it. But when it comes to Black music, you'll see all these non-Black motherfuckers over there running these stations. It's nuts. Yep, Hot 97 OC was once Black, but now it's outsiders from different states and races taking over. Of course. That's the way it always is. I said, this is what I'm talking about. That's the type of shit that I'm talking about. That's the stuff I'll be pointing out. I said, this shit crazy. But there'll be Black folks in their own community who will make fun about that shit instead of looking at it from the same vantage point of like, this is fucking stupid that other people are pretty much in control of our goddamn culture. That's nuts. That's not okay. But once again, like I said, this all comes from the vantage point again that a lot of Black folks view our culture from a white lens. They do. And that's why they tell you that it sucks. Meanwhile, they'll look at other cultures and they'll see some shit that's fucked up, but they won't say shit about it because they're only embarrassed about our shit because we've been told to be embarrassed by our shit. It's crazy and dumb, and it shouldn't be the case. We shouldn't be embarrassed. We shouldn't be embarrassed by our culture. What's happening, Phil? We shouldn't be embarrassed by a culture. I'm not. I'm never gonna be embarrassed by a culture ever. I'm done with that shit, bro. Like I said, you gotta just see it for what it is. Be happy with your culture. Stop letting other people tell you the shit on your culture. It's dumb. It's dumb. That's it. Like I said, I didn't want to even be on this long, man. I'm about to get off. I just wanted to shoot the shit. We are a family. We know what's up. For sure, family. I didn't even want to be on this long. I just wanted to come out and get some shit off my chest because I've been thinking about this shit for a while. Shit's annoying, and I didn't want to keep it to myself. Kind of like therapy. All right. Salute to everybody in the LWC and everybody rocking to have you guys. I'm out of you guys. Peace.